just keep scoring goals in games. I mean, how long can you keep this up for, do you reckon?
How long can the beard keep growing? It's a funny question. I mean, I've always prided myself on putting myself in the right areas, and I think I've done that in the A-League since I've scored my first ever A-League goal. So I'll always believe entering every single game that I want to score goals, and I work hard every single day to improve, and here I am with the record that I'm pretty proud of.
Because, I mean, heading into this season, you'd won so many golden boots in a row. There was the thinking of what else can you do? How have you somehow managed to improve this season compared to years past? Because you'd set a pretty high baseline.
Yeah, I think you go off pre-seasons, and actually this pre-season I probably scored the least amount of goals in majority of my pre-seasons that I've had for Melbourne City and in the A-League when I was at Brisbane and Perth. So it's mainly just working on the things that, when I look at the players we've brought in, the two number 10s in Richard and Vallon, who are sort of players who want to get in pockets, and Florin did that for me for the last few years. So just making sure that I'm in good areas, and we've got quality wingers who will always provide service like they have done. And you saw my second goal against Wellington. It was almost like me, Andy and Lex were on the same page for once we crossed that line in that counter attack. So we've built that. It's not something that is luck, but we're really proud, and I think the boys are really pushing me to another level.
Well, in terms of going to another level, there is one more record that you're chasing at the moment. It's Bessart Berisha. He's getting closer with every passing game. Is that something you reckon you can hit this season?
Yeah, I believe so. I think, going into this season, I looked at it and it was, I was 22 off him, and, I'd scored more than 22 goals in previous seasons. So I know that I've got to put myself in the right positions, also stay healthy and have, the quality behind me to really assist me. But 10 to go, there's obviously more than 10 games to go. So at this point in time, I've got a goal a game, and I'll be working towards it. Look, I'll be honest, the golden boots and these records, they're not everything. I do say that tongue in cheek, where the golden boots, I've got 4 of them now, so a 5th one, it'll be great, but it's not everything. I'm more chasing the team success and really building something that we've already that we've had with PK and obviously now with Rado. I'm sure he wants to win silverware as well.
Hey Jamie, the closer you get towards Bess's record, does that weigh on you at all when you go into games? Does that sort of sit in the back of your mind, or is that something that you just sort of push to the side when you go into games? It's more just focused on the team success.
I think it's actually nice that I've got a target where, I'm not really obsessed with it. I know what I have to do, and sitting here now, last week I had 12 to go, now I've got 10 to go. So it's a nice little, milestone to try and catch down. And like I said, if it happens this year or it happens in the future, I know that I've worked so hard since my first ever goal. And it's funny because I remember, after 2 goals for Perth, a coach sat me down and said, you're not part of my plan. So I think it was kind of a nice little light bulb moment to look back and think that, all those goals ago, I could have not been in this position, but here I am now. And like I said, I'll be focused on West United tomorrow. I won't be thinking about this record of the all-time scorer list until it gets to crunch time, because right now it's Bessart's record.
Jamie, how much is that? You said about what happened at Perth. How much has that driven you? To send over all these years to prove that person wrong.
Look, after a while, you sort of start to mature as a player, and you just know that good things happen to good people. If you work hard, you'll get rewarded, and that's something I've stood by my whole career. And I know that I've put in the yards. Even when I was at Perth, I would stay and do extras, and know that I wanted to stay on my path and not get distracted by things that were negative or a bit of adversity. A lot of players, if not all players, go through adversity in parts of their career, and that was probably my turning point. And I could have either sunk or swim, and I chose to swim. And I find myself now in a great position with this football club at Melbourne City, and who have looked after me fantastically. And we're on the verge of history, but at the same time, I've still got a long way to go to reach that. And my head's down and not getting carried away.
Jamie, I was just wondering, obviously Bessart's retired now and he's out the league, but Have you ever chatted with him about you chasing down his record? I mean, there's a bit of poetry in there, given that when he left Brisbane, UK subsequently came into Brisbane and was sort of his replacement there, and now you might replace him atop the A-League's all-time goal-scoring charts.
Yeah, me and Bess have a great relationship. We do keep in touch, believe it or not, and he's doing fantastic things. He wants to become a coach. He's in Berlin at the moment, I believe, and I think if there's one person that Bess wouldn't mind maybe overtaking his goal scoring record is myself, because I remember sharing the Golden Boot with him, and he'd just gone past his 100th goal, and I stood on the podium with him and said, basically, this isn't about me, this is about Bessart, who has just achieved 100 goals in the A-League, and I've got a huge amount of respect for the guy. I've looked up to him, and every time I've won a Golden Boot, he's always reached out, and we actually shared a good moment in Sydney when we played against Western United, and I'd won the Golden Boot that night, and he gave me a cuddle, and so we've got a huge amount of respect for each other, and just a great admiration for what he's done in his career.
You as been touched on a lot, you're obviously chasing down the record. You've kind of done it all in the A-League men's competition. If you manage to chase down the record this season, what's the look for next season? Is it to try and get a move back to Europe? Is it to continue dominating your A-League's legacy? What's the end goal for you, or is that too far away to even think about at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a bit too far to think about maybe next season. I've got just a little over a year to go on my contract here at Melbourne City, but I'm aware that in January people are always going to say that there's rumours and that there's interest, but if it doesn't suit myself or it doesn't suit Melbourne City, then you'll see me in the light blue shirt for more than a few years. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm not really thinking about leaving this club in the short term. But yeah, like I said, I've got this season and next season to worry about, and my head's just down. And in the short term, I'm thinking about tomorrow night going out there and trying to get the 3 points against a resurgent West United, who a former boss of mine, John Aloisi, will always try and stop me, which he's done well on a couple of occasions. So it'll be a good battle tomorrow night, and they're a fantastic back two in even Topor Stanley, Lacroix and Imai. So I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Jamie, I've got to stick on you. You've got to retire with Green Gully, mate. You told me you were going to retire with Gully.
Yeah, maybe at 37, 38, Green Gully might have a spot for me. Don't know if I'll have the legs. I might have to play number 6 or number 10. But I'm obviously clearly proud Melbourne boy. Grew up in the northwest, and Gully's always a place close to heart, and so is Sunbury United.
Sorry, that's okay, Joey. There was a little bit of gap last week with Ticketek, where they released a bunch of tickets for this game for free available. I don't know whether those tickets were refunded or anything like that, or cancelled. But what's it going to be like to possibly have a slightly larger crowd than usual to pack this house out?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you've just informed me. I mean, it's news to me about this whole Ticketek stuff, but. Look, we always want to play in front of good crowds. We always want to play in front of our own fans. Obviously, the authorities have made decisions that, as a player, you can't control. But we can't wait to see them behind the goal, cheering us on. And at the end of the day, they've really given us a great platform the last few years to go on and have success. And we need our fans. It's simple as that. And West United, they want to grow that football club as well, so that they want to have as much people in the crowd as well. And it's a derby. I know it's only a fresh and early derby in the years, but we really want to build it and turn it into a big fixture. So yeah, I hope it's a great crowd tomorrow. Hopefully it's good weather. The Australian Open's around the corner, so hopefully people want to pop over to Amy Park.
And just one last one from me. What's it like having made the transition from playing under PK to playing under Ryder this season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, PK leaving, he built something the last 4 years. We started off with Eric, and PK was hugely successful and well respected within the group. And obviously he's pushed on, and we wish him well. And he's a fantastic coach. But Rado's come in with a huge drive, and he's going to add his own little tweaks to the things. And I think as a coach, and bringing his own taste to this squad is going to be great for him. But our players have bought into what he wants to do. He wants to play attacking style. You can see we've already scored goals. We've won games under him. So the team's full of confidence, and training's a little bit different. But the boys are up and about, and you can say that they're taking a liking to him. So it's going to be a great rest of the season under him, and we're playing some exciting football, scoring some good goals, and you look forward to having our fans back to watch our exciting football.
Jamie, I wanted to ask you specifically about Western United. They're beginning to find a bit of form as of late, unbeaten in their last 3. They've only conceded 1 goal across their past 3 games. Tamaki Imai's return to health really seems to have brought some steel back into that back line. Yourself as a striker, when you're looking at Imai and Maclaren, and you've got Garuccio and Riston as the wing backs, what sort of areas are you looking to exploit against a back line like that?
Yeah, look, to be honest, they're a hard back line, but they're a hard team to play against either way. They won the championship last year. This season they've probably found it a little bit tough early on, but like you said, they're unbeaten in 3, and they are a hard team to beat. No game's easy against a Johnny Luisi side, and I know that I'll be coming up against a back 4 that's resolute, rarely concede like they did last year. They were very good at the back, and this season they're finding their strength probably towards the middle side of the season, but it's going to be a difficult game. Even round 1 was difficult. I know we won 2-0, but at the same time, they still had their chances, and we need to be very similar to how we were last week. I was very proud of Glover and the back 4, and even when Jamo came on, really shored us up, in Galloway towards the end when Wellington were pushing. So we need to be like that, but we're no good if we're not scoring goals at the other end as well. So both of us on either side of the pitch need to be on it, but we know we're coming up against a very good side, and like I said, a Johnny Luisi side that really wants to play attacking football and try and win the game. So hopefully the fans turn out, because it's a grand final rematch again, and it's another Melbourne derby.
Time for a couple more, guys, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, you're also, not only are you coming up against a good side, you're coming up against a very large side. Leo Lacroix, Alex Previc, Tongo Dumbia's in there now. There's a lot of very physically imposing players in that Western United dressing room. We've seen some sides over the years. I think Perth a while back had like 2 7-footers playing in their defensive back 4. But how does playing against a really physically imposing side affect the way that you and the rest of the team approach a game?
Yeah, I mean, it depends which way you want to look at it. I mean, they're probably thinking they're playing against a small side, So me and Marco Tilio in the front third, who are quick and sharp. But look, I think set pieces, they're very dangerous, given, like you said, the height that they have. They did score a couple of goals from set pieces against us last season, but we also know that if we focus on ourselves and do our structures right, and make sure our set plays are held out well with our zones, and making sure boys are doing their roles. Excuse me. And I think we'll go into the game full of confidence, and we know they're a good side. We don't need to talk about maybe height or physiques and stuff. We know that they're going to be a good footballing team with some very good midfielders in Killer and Lustica and Troisi. So really excited to get out there tomorrow night, and hopefully it's a cracking crowd, and a good summer's night of football.
And Jamie, I guess you enjoy scoring against Jamie Young, your old teammate. What do you think the key to his ongoing sort of success is?
Yeah, look, Youngie's one of those guys that you don't celebrate until it's in the net, because he's that sort of keeper that just pulls cracking saves out of nowhere. And having trained with him, played with him, I don't know how many goals I've scored against him, but I don't think it's too many. But Youngie's a cracking goalkeeper. He's a big leader for that club, and we have to be on our game, and we have to be clinical and precise in putting the ball past him, because he does make some great saves, and he's done some big moments for that club. So we need to be have our shooting boots on tomorrow night, and hit the target, and make sure we can come away with the 3 points by the end of it.